to round 3 of the Gauntlight Ruins Tournament Invitational. In this episode, Max from the channel's Campaign Diaries will bravely face down friend of the channel and popular content creator, LexChan. Let's see if that wealth of knowledge can translate to success in the tournament. For a recap of the rules, go check out episode 1 where there is a full recap. But for now, let's see those characters. On the left will be LexChan, and she'll be running a Kobold Thaumaturge with a focus on scrolls. Proving how deep the rabbit hole can go for those with the knowledge, Lex's character is a bit of a wild one, so bear with me as I try and explain this. She'll be playing a Kobold to be small size with a custom mixed heritage to add some human. They've taken the weapon implement and will be wielding a breaching pike. Natural ambition let them pick up the Scroll Thaumaturge, and their inventory is stacked with scrolls of Fleet Step, Jump, Heal, and Runic Weapon. A Familiar and Enhanced Familiar fills out their class feats, while Assurance and Acrobatics and Incredible Initiative fill the remaining gaps in their build. This is our only entry focusing on spells, so I'm excited to see if they're a benefit or a hindrance. For a full breakdown of their character and the approach they took to the tournament, go check out this video on their channel. On the right will be Max, and his character seems like a good challenger in terms of also having a lot going on. Max will be running a human exemplar using the Titan's Breaker, Gaze Sharp as Steel, and Scar of the Survivor icons. Since his Divine Spark will be bouncing around constantly, I'll try and keep you up to date on where it is at all times. His root epithet will be the Cunning, allowing him to make a feint as a free action anytime he sparks Transcendence. Natural Ambition gets him the Energized Spark class feat to make his spirit damage into electricity damage when needed. Vow of Mortal Defiance lets him mark a creature with the Holy or Unholy trait, but that will unfortunately be useless since none of the targets have this trait. Leap the Falls gets him the ever so popular Powerful Leap and Quick Jump feats. Slippery Prey will unfortunately not come up much, but Toughness will let him stack additional hit points. For his equipment, Max has taken a light mace, 2 steel shields, and many healing potions. Make your predictions in the comments now, because we're going to be passing things over to our casters and kick off these runs. Welcome back! We're kicking things right off, and both competitors have rolled very well for their initiative rolls.
They have indeed. Lex is taking her time to cast those all-important spells, while Max rushes for the doors.
What do we expect to see from these runs?
Well, both competitors seem highly survivable in their own way, and both can put out some good burst damage.
That's right. I don't see either competitor going down, but who will be fastest? That's what we're here to find out.
Lex going for the Vine Bridge. She has Assurance to guarantee safe passage, but they've opted to roll, and that critical success makes it worth it as she moves along the vine in one action. Burning their hero point this early in the run, though, I hope it works out.
But Lex is at the door to Boss Scrong and will be taking the time to cast further buffs.
They're sending their Familiar to handle the future doors. That will come in very handy.
Let's go full screen with Lex to see how they do. Runic Weapon will really help rush through this limited health pool of our first target.
Having a reach weapon is also a powerful boon.
She hits on her first attack, clearing most of Boss Scrong's health.
It's not a one-shot though.
She just barely manages to stay at the top of initiative.
There's the second hit, and Boss Scrong is dead.
That's a turn 5 kill, just barely missing out on fastest kill to Charlie in episode 1. Still a very good start.
While Lex makes their way to the giant flies, Max is looking like he's about to engage Boss Scrong himself.
With no movement buffs, he can't make it to Boss Scrong in one stride, but that's no problem, as he needs time to set up a moment unending anyway. No bias, of course, but damn you, Max! Our templates were not made for all this micromanaging bullshit.
Yo, chill. We support all our competitors and all builds equally.
Fractured Mountains combined with a moment unending makes for some big damage, but it's hard to pull off quickly.
And that roll was sadly on the lower side, meaning Boss Scrong is still in this.
Lex seems to have reached the giant flies now. As both competitors handle their respective targets, a lead seems to be forming.
Boss Wong's still alive on Max's side.
Meanwhile, Lex is using the familiar to aggro the maggots away from the collapsed wall.
The midflits are chipping away at Max, but it's nothing he can't handle.
Provided he juggles his divine spark into the right icon at the right time.
Boss Wong is down!
He has no actions left though. Let's see if he can get out unscathed.
A crit on Max.
Another crit on Max.
A third crit on Max.
That's what you get for messing with our templates.
No, that's not... What the fuck are you doing?
There's no room on the template to track his divine spark or his free fates. It looks stupid.
Dude, focus on the runs. Look, Max is now on his way after failing to tumble through the midflits.
Lex has been slowed down by these giant flies, but they have been able to bring down the first one.
Max is wisely slowing down to heal.
Can he afford to with his opponent so far ahead though?
Well, if Lex dies, and he doesn't, it doesn't matter how far ahead that head start is.
Lex and the giant flies are throwing reactions into reactions, desperately trying to take each other down.
Oh, that crit will do it though. Lex is past the giant flies and heading for the final challenge. Mr. Beak. How do I feel about her chances?
If they can find time to recast Runic Weapon and keep a heal scroll to hand, aside from a stray crit or a critical fail to Phantom Pain, I don't see anything glaring that would stop her now.
Max has reached the giant flies.
Lex is taking the back entrance to Mr. Beak's room. Alright, let's pause there for a second. We have had a few shenanigans on Lex's turn there. A fleet step had ended by this turn, so they travelled much further than they should have. They also used 2 independent actions that round. Based on how far they should have been able to go, I'm just going to add +1 turn to their run. But back to the tournament. And Max is engaged. Hopefully he clears them faster than Lex did and closes that gap a bit.
Lex is taking some time to heal. Clever, since we know just how much damage Mr. Beak can do if he's lucky.
She's sending her familiar ahead. Is this another play for the door?
There's the Runic Weapon recast.
Lex is spending a lot of actions drawing and casting scrolls. It's obviously vital to their build, but are these actions that would give Max a chance to catch up?
Well, no flies are dead yet.
Exemplar seems pretty powerful, but it doesn't seem particularly quick due to how much setup it needs. Perhaps a strong class, but not suited to this situation.
He's got his first kill on the flies, though.
Lex has commanded her familiar to open the door and then sent it straight to the Flicker Wisp.
Is this a sacrifice play, or has it served its purpose of being sent to die?
Ah, yes. The old expendable cat play. My respect for Lex grows.
You know this will be on the internet forever, right? And people love cats.
You know we're fictional characters, right?
What?
While Max finishes off his last fly, let's see Lex on the big screen in her showdown against Mr. Beak. She's already set up a successful exploit vulnerability. She crits him. That is a huge opener to this fight. Massive damage. The cat is dead. She beat him out of the initiative. She hits again. Mr. Beak is dead. Haters will call it luck, and since Max has just killed his flies and gets on the move again, even with the extra penalty round added, that is a win for Lex. An excellent showing there. Let's see if Max can secure a respectable kill too. Mimsy. Mimnivix!
Yes, great job to Lex. Very well done.
Are back with us, are you?
Yeah, yes. Max is taking the safer route towards Mr. Beak.
Yeah, if he's quick, he should manage to get a pretty clean kill.
I guess magic really does make up for the actions you put into it. Fleet Step, Runic Weapon, and even the jump spell here at the end. They've all let Lex move through this dungeon in ways nobody else has managed.
do feel like Max is showing how important move speed buffs are. Constantly one space short from a door and having to sink a whole new action into getting there.
But he is nearly there, and he has the tools for a quick kill.
Will Mr. Beak give him one though?
We're about to find out. He's stopping to heal.
He's drawing a shield, good preparation.
Engaging on turn 25, that's the latest engagement in the competition so far.
He's opting to balance. With his good dex, that should reliably get him more speed than the jumping everybody else has been doing.
He gets a good initial strike in, buffed by a moment unending.
That is a low damage roll though.
He beats Mr. Beak on initiative and goes again.
Here comes a big hit. Fun fact about the Exemplar, constructs lose their immunity to their spirit damage. Even if that wasn't the case though, he could have just made it into electricity damage.
There's the Phantom Pain. And he's our first competitor to succeed the save.
That's still full damage, but no second and no persistent damage.
Say, why is there so much time left on the video?
That is longer than he should be.
With his no scar but this, Max is functionally immortal now. Mr. Beak won't have the damage.
Mr. Beak has way more mobility and a high AC.
Oh, no.
Mr. Beak tried to finish him and failed. Max might have an opportunity to do something here.
Please! Please kill him!
A crit!
Finally!
Oh, we're free.
What the hell was that?
We're done. Good job, Lex. You're through to round 2. Max, Scully's gonna have some fucking words with you, mate. Congratulations, Lex. You are through to round 2 and we'll get to revise your build if it even needs it. Thank you for competing as well, Max. That was a very good run, and you will certainly probably be achieving the reward for longest run. Thanks for watching, guys. There are my usual links in the description, and if you want to like, comment, and subscribe, that is a very helpful and good way of supporting the channel. Thank you very much. See you soon. Bye-bye.